Hi everyone, let me walk you through what this week's demo is about, because if you've ever dealt with a narcissist who uses silence, treatment and guilt to mess with your head, then this is going to hit deep. Tammy is 45. She's co-parenting with a narcissistic ex and trying to rebuild a life while dating again. But anytime she needs support, he makes her pay for it. While she's at work, she gets a call that there is a medical emergency with one of her clients and that she needs to leave for the hospital immediately. It's her turn to pick up the kids, so she texts her ex-husband. Emergency at work, can you please get the boys from school? There's no reply. Now she follows up an hour later and there's still silence. Now she's pacing, her heart's racing, her mind's spiraling because what if the kids are stuck waiting again? What will school think of me? Being a bad parent? Is this another moment I'm failing just like he says I do? Now, 6 hours later, after the whole emergency was over, he finally responds, maybe plan better next time. That's it. No support, no care, no how are you doing, just a blame bomb. And now she is spiraling, not just because of what happened, but because of how deeply she's been conditioned to take the blame. Tammy starts thinking, why did I even think it'd help? I should have figured this out myself. Now the kids will think I don't care. And this is where the Narcissist Translator steps in. Now let me show you what happens when she stops reacting from guilt and starts responding from truth. Let me show you exactly what we are going to do. I am pasting in a prompt that Tammy is going to give ChatGPT. It says, I had an emergency at work and texted my ex to get the kids. He ignored me for hours and blamed me. I feel like I failed again as a mum and as a person. I put enter, and ChatGPT is saying to me, first pause right here. Place your hand over your heart, take a deep breath and hear me when I say you did not fail, you asked for help, you did what any loving, responsible, overwhelmed mother would do. Let's unpack this with clarity and compassion because the shame you're feeling, it doesn't belong to you. He goes through what actually happened. You had an emergency, it's not failure, it's real life. You reached out responsibly to the co-parent for support. That's not manipulation, it's shared parenting. He ignored you, creating emotional and logistical stress. Then he blamed you. A classic narcissistic tactic to dodge responsibility and punish you for needing anything. This is not a parenting failure. This is a person weaponizing your humanity, your needs, your vulnerability, your role as a mother to make you feel unworthy. The real dynamics here at play are silent treatment and delay, which is a power play. He blames after you ask for help. It's punishment for disrupting his control. And you spiral into shame. Conditioning from years of carrying everyone else's emotional weight. You didn't do anything wrong, you broke a pattern, you reached outward for support instead of sacrificing yourself again. That's courage, not failure. He gives me your truth. He gives you my truth mirror. Then he is grounding you. Right, now I'm going to ask him, is it true that I failed, or is this another setup where I'm made to feel like the problem when I'm not? It's not true that you failed. What is true is you've been emotionally conditioned to feel like the problem every time someone else refuses to show up. Let's name this clearly. This is a setup. It's not just about this one event, it's a pattern, a familiar script designed to make you question your worth every time you need something, set a boundary, make a reasonable request, or expect basic co-parenting support. They can't do that, can they? Right, so here's the truth. You did not fail. You adapted under pressure. You were not the problem. You asked for co-parenting, not charity. His silence and blame are not evidence of your inadequacy. They are tactics rooted in control and emotional manipulation. Just because someone acts like you're the problem doesn't make it true. Keep this in mind, and especially when the same person keeps dodging accountability. Let's flip the script. Old narrative is, I shouldn't have asked, I made things worse, I failed. Truth-based narrative is, I did what any good mum would do. I asked for help during a crisis. He refused to step up. That's not my shame to carry. Okay, now I'm going to give him a last prompt, and it basically says, what would Milou say if she saw me blaming myself for his silence? Here we go. Because remember, I am integrated in the Narcissist Translator. So, ChatGPT is saying, Milou would take your face gently in her hand. This is really, really... I would say, with fierce love and zero hesitation, no. Stop right there. His silence is not your fault. His lack of support is not a reflection of your worth, and that's his choice, his pattern, his guilt, not yours. Then I would like to give you my straight to the heart truth bomb. You're blaming yourself because it feels familiar, not because it's right. And I know that this isn't just about this moment, it's about years of conditioning that taught you to carry everyone else's emotional weight, preempt conflict by self blaming, feel guilt every time you had a need, and apologize for taking up space. And then I would remind you, lovingly but firmly, this is not about whether you ask too much, this is about him being too uncomfortable with your strength, your needs, and your boundaries. Don't you dare shrink to make that easier for him. If Malou were with you right now, she'd remind you of this. You are not too much. You are not the reason he's shut down. You are not responsible for how he chooses to show up or not show up. You are allowed to ask for help without being punished for it. And then I would lightly hand you a tea or a hot chocolate, sit next to you and say, you do not need to keep bleeding emotionally just because someone else can't hold their side of the parenting. You did your part and now you get to stop carrying this. All right, so this is basically what the Narcissist Translator does for you, or for Tammy in this situation, when the blame game and the silent treatment are getting to you really bad, okay? So if this hits something deep, if you saw yourself in Tammy's panic, in her silence, in that moment where she almost took the blame again, apologized, then you need to be the June workshop, live workshop. It's called Conditioned to Chaos: How Narcissistic Abuse Became Your Normal and How to Break Free from It. We are going live on Sunday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's the only live workshop I'm running this month. So I'd say grab your seat and come and join me, because it's just 1 hour. It's hands-on, no BS, just emotional clarity, practical steps, and a plan to take your power back. The link to register is in the post. And if you want the exact tool Tammy used to shut the spiral down, that's the Narcissist Translator. Grab it, use it, change everything for yourself. The link again is in the post, and you are absolutely not going to regret having it. It's my lifeline and it helps me every single day. You do not need to keep spiraling. You just need to stop carrying the blame they trained you to hold. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.